It's all a part of a bigger picture to merge the sexes together. Because in the occult, they have this thing where they want to merge the sexes together. I figure what it's called, the rebus or something like that, where they believe you become like a god once you merge the sexes together. They believe it's called the divine feminine and the divine masculine, and they need to merge those together to harness some sort of energy or something. I haven't really studied too much on that, but I've heard a little bit about it. So that's what these people are doing. They're trying to merge the sexes. They are trying to cause confusion and come against God's order. This is why you dudes should not be so obsessed with your looks. This is disgusting. You should be focused on God. The Bible warns against being effeminate. We got stuff that's made for women and now men are wearing it. I thought it was a weird thing when you dudes were wearing those Birkenstocks, walking around wearing those Birkenstocks. I thought that looked gay. I thought those were women's shoes for women. I'm like, what are dudes wearing Birkenstocks? I thought it was gay when the dudes were wearing the Uggs. What do you mean you're wearing Uggs? I thought those were women's shoes. But they'll tell you that they're for men because they want to get men to be effeminate. That's why society is so soft. That's why we got women ruling over men, because you dudes have become so soft. You dudes don't want to stand for nothing. You don't want to stand for your convictions. You compromise on so many things, on so many big issues, and you don't stand for nothing because you have no foundation. Because you don't follow this book. You don't follow the Bible. Basic instructions before leaving Earth. You follow your heart. You guys act just like females. It's bigger than just wearing female clothes and be worried about your looks. But half of you dudes act like females. And that goes right back to 1 Corinthians 6:9. The effeminate will not inherit the kingdom of God. You dudes act just like females. God calls men to be leaders. A lot of you dudes don't want to get out here and lead. You don't want to be a man. You don't want to step up where you need to step up because you're too scared. And I'm going to be honest. Let me not lie and pretend like I haven't had that as well. But I've been learning more and more as of late that I need to step outside of my comfort zone. I have been doing so. Not that I'm trying to justify myself, but I have. We need to step outside of our comfort zone. We need to be men. Men need to act like men. Paul said, act like men. Be strong. Act like men. That's what God calls us to. We need to be examples. We need to be leaders. And that's why half the women can't follow most dudes, because half of these dudes aren't submitted to God. They're not in the word. They're not in the scriptures. And I'd be lying if I act like I'm perfect. There was times I wasn't being submitted to God. I had to humble myself. And I had to get back to refocusing my focus on God, because for the longest period of time, I was not focused on God and I was focused on pleasing people.